In the beginning of the 20th century, a frail old man spun the charkha. It marked the awakening of India. A nation rose. The spinning of the cotton thread became a symbol of patriotic feeling during the independence struggle. Cotton has been such an integral part of India. India has by far the largest area under cotton cultivation, almost 9 million hectares. And yet, it is only the third largest producer of cotton after China and the US. India produces around 3 million tons of cotton lint every year. Cotton is the backbone of the Indian textile industry, which provides employment to a lot of people. If we look at the average productivity, India has one of the lowest, with about 320 kg per hectare. In India, cotton is grown in several states. From the Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan in the north, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra in the center, to Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the south. One of the biggest problems facing India is its burgeoning population.
We are already 1.1 billion people. In another 20 years, we may reach about 1.5 billion population. Land is a shrinking resource for agriculture. There is also a growing climate change, with the result droughts become more frequent, monsoons are erratic. So how do you improve productivity, how do you increase income, and how do you increase employment potential of farming? These are all great challenges for the future.
Over the decades, cotton cultivation has faced several challenges. Weather, drought, insects and pests have had a dramatic effect on cotton productivity. About 162 species of insects are known to devour cotton at various stages of growth, of which 15 are considered to be key pests. Among them are jassids, aphids, whitefly, spotted bollworm, pink bollworm and American bollworm. Economically important diseases also include bacterial blight, fusarium wilt, alternaria leaf spot, grey mildew and leaf curl virus. Together, these pests and diseases result in an estimated loss of 50 to 60% of potential yield, which is similar to losses in other countries.
पहले तो बहुत दवाई छाट के थक गए, हम दवाई डालते थे तो भी तब कीड़ा ज्यादा हो जाता था, ऐसी भी पोजीशन आ गई थी।
वो लीला और काबरा काला सर खाता है, वो जिंडवा खाते ज्यादा।
दवाई का असर बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ था, लास्ट में तो हेलियोथिस मरती भी, कोई भी दवाई डालने से नहीं मरती थी।
The biggest insect problem, however, is the bollworm. This scourge of the cotton farmers requires several sprays of pesticides. These sprays are not only expensive, but are also turning out to be futile, as many regions have shown the bollworm becoming resistant to pesticides.
In India, we are using considerable amount of pesticide, almost 50% of those in cotton alone, and at a very heavy cost. And farmer could be benefited by reducing on cost on pesticides.
One powerful ally we have in our fight against the bollworm is a small naturally occurring soil bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT.
It's a bacteria which is soil borne, produces a chemical, a protein. The interesting thing is that this protein is toxic to some of the insects. More than 40 BT genes have been identified. Different genes are selectively effective or toxic to specific insects.
When this toxic protein enters the gut of the bollworm, it meets with a receptor protein there. It binds with it and punctures the wall of the intestine. This leads to paralysis of the insect and eventually its death. Interestingly, this receptor protein is found only in the Lepidoptera species. Hence, the Bt protein is effective only against this group of insects and is completely safe for all other living organisms, be it plant, animal, or human. Traditionally, these bacteria have a long history of safe use as a natural insecticide, either in the form of granules or in liquefied form, and have been used to control bollworm attack on cotton. However, the efficiency of both applications is quite limited, as often the target organisms do not come into contact with the insecticide. That is why scientists working to overcome these problems found a promising solution in modern biotechnology. Scientists have taken the Bt gene responsible for the production of the Bt protein from the organism and incorporated it in plants. Thus, these plants have a built-in mechanism of protection against targeted pests like the cotton bollworm.
और भविष्य इसी में है। किसान का भविष्य कॉटन के साथ बीटी से जुड़ा हुआ है और ये किसान का कपास से भविष्य यही है।
In 1993, an Indian seed company called Mahiko joined hands with an American company, Monsanto, which had pioneered research in Bt technology, to introduce the Bt gene into the Indian cotton hybrid.
We both felt कि जो है वो we are of एक की तरह की हमारी थिंकिंग है और बेसिक बात यह है कि इसमें काश्तकार का लाभ अगर होता है तो ये बात कामयाब हो सकती है और ये उन्होंने करके दिखाई है तो आगे जाना चाहिए।
Mahiko was successful in obtaining import approval for the Bt cotton seed in 1994 and began conducting efficacy studies as well as biosafety, food safety and environmental impact assessment studies. Since the import of Bt cotton by Mahiko in 1994, it has been a long saga of food and feed safety studies and environmental impact assessments. Every stage of Bt cotton development was regulated by various monitoring and regulatory committees of the government. These included the Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation, institutional biosafety committees in each of the institutions where Bt cotton was tested, and state and district level monitoring and evaluation committees. Since Bt cotton was the first biotechnology crop to be introduced into India, a stringent approval and monitoring system was required. The apex committee that regulates genetically modified crops in India is the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, or the GEAC, of the Ministry of Environment and Forests.
Then GEAC provides the guidance how to go about testing it before it is released. For most of the transgenics, there are three kinds of biosafety concerns which have been advocated. Biosafety concerns for human health and animal health, biosafety concerns for environmental safety, and third, the social and ethical concerns. All the prescribed tests for allergenicity, toxicity, pollen flow, agronomic performance, all these tests which we in our guidelines we have prescribed have been scrupulously followed. And when the regulators were satisfied, then only these hybrids were released for cultivation for a limited period of 3 years, with the proviso that after 3 years we will review again.
The system which was developed in India was fairly rigorous because it was the first product, and we were very cautious as to test it against everything. Like, for example, the Bt cotton, although the impact may not be in the fish, but we also have a data on fish. We also data on birds, we have on predators, we have parasites, soil microflora, we have on goats, large animals, small animals. All that was asked to be generated. I think the government mechanism which was established for that was fairly good, and I would say that sufficient biosafety testing has been done.
These studies were carried out by government laboratories under the aegis of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, and the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, in collaboration with Mahiko. Furthermore, because cottonseed oil is used for cooking and cottonseed cake is used for livestock feed, Bt cotton was also tested for food and feed safety. Tests conducted by the Central Institute for Cotton Research and Indian Toxicology Research Centre between 1998 to 2001 demonstrated that BT cotton is as safe as non-BT cotton. After several years of testing, BT cotton was finally approved for commercial planting in 2002, and since then the real story of BT cotton in India has unfolded in farmers' fields. Since BT plants are capable of season-long expression of the BT protein, one major concern of the technology is the development of bollworm resistance to the BT toxin. Therefore, precautionary steps have to be taken. The government requires that non-BT cotton plants should be grown on all sides of a BT cotton field. This is known as a refuge. The refuge must be planted with the same non-BT cotton variety, and it should be at least 5 rows of non-BT cotton or 20% of the total sown area, whichever is more. The refuge helps reduce the chance of resistance developing in the bollworm population.
ਇਹ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੀਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪੈਕਟ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਉਹਦੀਆਂ 5 ਜਾਂ 6 ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਾਸੀ 4 ਸਪਰੇ ਲਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਕਾਰਨ ਜੀ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੁੰਡੀ ਸੰਡੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪਾਸਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਪਰੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ दूजे ते लोड नहीं
बोलने के बाद में भी लगाते नहीं उसमें सब कीड़े खा लेते और उसकी वजह से लगाते नहीं हम तो बीज वेस्टेज ज्यादा.
Last 3 years trials very clearly indicated that at least today we don't have any kind of resistance build up. So I think to me those arguments which are being made are not really true. One has to look into the system because BT cotton has been adopted at a large scale in United States and even in China. None of these countries has reported that there is a large-scale breakdown of resistance of cryophyllene.
Experts believe that the question of resistance is not whether, but rather when, and therefore different resistance management strategies are proposed and are being evaluated. Another genuine concern by farmers is the high price of the BT cotton seed. The average cost of seed for non-BT is about 300 to 400 rupees. Which is equivalent to $7 to $9. However, BT cotton seed is currently priced between 16 to 1800 rupees, almost $40. Farmers find this exorbitant, and in a poor country like India, subsistence farmers barely manage to make ends meet.
ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਰੇਟ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹਰ ਆਦਮੀ ਦੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੈ ਆਮ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੀਜ ਸਕਦਾ.
As a consequence of this, another serious concern has arisen. There is now an alarming amount of spurious or illegal seeds that are significantly cheaper being sold in the market.
Whenever you go to the farmers are feeling it is not possible to buy the seeds at a very high cost. So that's how they are getting some seeds, unauthorized seeds at lower price. They are going for that. We don't know the quality of that. And what quality of produce also we are going to get from that. I think this monopoly should go. So for that, what we feel, there are number of genes are coming in the country. When these are going to be there, I think there will be a lot of competition. Not only the competition, but these are going to help us in management of resistance.
While these illegal seeds are cheaper, there are other problems associated with them. Their yield may not be as promised, and the BT protection may not be as good. And more importantly, they may not have passed biosafety requirements. All of these could have serious consequences for the environment and agriculture as well as for the farmers, and therefore need to be addressed by all the stakeholders. Another crucial area of concern is that with these illegal seeds, the farmers do not get the technical backup support.
ये गवर्नमेंट का पास होया भी है जी बोलगार्ड जी ये तुरदे फिरदे बंदे तो लिया जी इसका कद छोटा है जी कद नहीं कितना नहीं.
मेरा गांव में थोड़ा 2-3 आदमी इलीगल वेराइटीज डाला था सर जो अभी हमारा खेत में इसको उसको डिफरेंस देखा था इसको कंपलसरी यील्ड में ये 12 क्विंटल आया तो वो 7-8 क्विंटल आता. अभी किसानों सोच रहा ये हम ये वैरायटी को किंग आया.
If you look at the pesticide usage, almost 40 to 60% has been reduced. You can say hardly one, sometimes in some places 2
sprays for the borer at the later stage. In some of the places, there is no need of pesticide use for the control of bollworm at all. We have to control the acids, otherwise it is going to suck the sap and it is going to reduce the yield even if we have BT.
Sprays are still necessary because besides the bollworm, there are other sucking pests too. The key is to educate the farmer that BT is not effective against all pests, insects and viruses. All stakeholders are concerned about issues such as sprays and refuge and are working to help the farmers understand the proper management of BT cotton.
उसको पूरी जानकारी हम देते हैं कि आपको पहले रिफ्यूजी लगाना है और कंपनी की तरफ से पैम्पलेट भी हमको मिलते हैं, तो पैम्पलेट की द्वारा हम उसको फार्मर को समझाते हैं और वो क्वेश्चन पूछता है हमको कि क्यों जरूरी है, तो उसका जवाब भी हम देते हैं कि इसीलिए जरूरी है वो.
The high cost of this seed is offset by the reduced use of pesticides and increase in yield due to reduction in pest infestation.
ਦਵਾਈ ਲੱਖ ਰੁਪਏ ਦੀ ਦਵਾਈ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ 20 ਕਿੱਲਿਆਂ ਤੇ. ਆਪ ਜੀ 20 ਕਿੱਲੇ ਨਰਮਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ 40,000 ਦਾ ਬੀਜ ਲਿਆ ਜੀ, ਕੋਈ ਸਪਰੇਅ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਕਰਤੇਲੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਪਰੇਅ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ.
The most significant result what we found was that in terms of yield there was an increase of all these three hybrids which initially tried in 2001-2002 was almost between 25 to 60% increase in yield, and in terms of the saving in the sprays was between 2 to 5 spray savings occurred because of using this BT technology. So that means if you calculate in terms of really the financial benefit in all the three hybrids, it ranges between something like 7,000 rupees to nearly 11,000 rupees per hectare.
While there are concerns, BT cotton has grown in popularity since it first came out in 2002. By 2004, approximately 300,000 farmers planted over 500,000 hectares with a 5-fold increase in BT cotton area between 2003 and 2004.
BT कॉटन क्वालिटी जिनर के लिए भी अच्छा और किसानों के लिए भी अच्छा, उसका यील्ड भी अच्छा 10 से 20% ज्यादा आता है. BT कॉटन का केक भी अच्छे दाम से बिकता है, ऑयल परसेंटेज भी हमको 10% अच्छा उतर आता है.
Ultimately, the final test of the technology is in the hands of farmers. There's an old saying that farmers can be fooled only once. But scientists, technology developers, government regulators, state agriculture universities and extension officers, along with NGOs, must provide them with all the information, not only about BT cotton technology, but also about other technologies for them to make informed decisions.
आम लोगों से भी हम पूछते रहते हैं, साथ में वो मेरे से पूछते भी रहते हैं क्योंकि थोड़ा सा मेरे को नॉलेज है, तो सभी इससे खुश हैं कि एक तो इसको पानी की कमी नहीं महसूस होती और स्प्रेयां भी बहुत कम करनी पड़ी हैं इसको, और बिल का जो पैसे की बचत होती है.
What we should do is respect a different view, and if it is a bona fide view that can be supported in terms of a peer review of the concern, we should obviously try to accommodate that. So if we look at the evidence that has been generated over the last 10 years in 20 countries, in 6 continents, in many crops, with many traits, the one thing that is very evident is that this is consistent data in support of this technology.
Some people say it has not done well, some people say it has done well. Ultimately, farmers are the judge. See, farmers, you can deceive them one year, but you cannot deceive them next year. Therefore, if the farmers have accepted, they have given the judgment.
BT ની અંદર જે ઉત્પાદન મળે છે એનાથી અમે ઘણા ખુશ છીએ.
ਇਹ ਐਤਕੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਘਰ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰੂ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਇਹੀ ਲਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਾਂਗੇ, ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ 100 ਬੰਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਲਾਊਗਾ.
ये प्रोडक्शन अच्छी है, स्प्रे भी कम होती है,
कमर्शियल लॉस भी बिल्कुल कम है.
एक तो रेट बहुत ज्यादा,
आगे भी BT को ही जाता सब.
The story of BT cotton in India is only the first step, but a beginning has been made. The Department of Biotechnology, along with the Ministries of Environment and Forests, Agriculture and Health, continue to watch this story with keen interest. public institutions are working tirelessly to develop their own BT cotton varieties, as well as other biotechnology crops. How soon farmers will be able to benefit from these new varieties, only time will tell.